The scorching summer heat can be just as life-threatening as the hypothermia season during the winter months. It is the homeless and the poor who are most in danger, as they have no place to seek refuge. Workers at the Father McKenna Center in Washington provide refuge to 80-some homeless men on a daily basis, as Catholic social teaching dictates they do.
Anytime the weather is particularly fierce, whether it's a snowstorm or a big thunderstorm or the kind of oppressive heat that we have now, we will stay open. If you have no place to go, we would be happy to have you here in the air conditioning with supplies of water so that you would not run into any kind of health problems or the dangerous situations out in the heat. It's a basic fact that when it's as hot as it is now, that people's nerves get frayed.
The center also provides utility assistance to the poor.
So you can imagine if a person comes in here and says, my electricity is going to be shut off in a week, we try to help so that the person's fan would be able to work, if that's all they have.
It's a lot of people to be concerned about, especially when dealing with this heat. So just try to do the best you can, and if you can help someone, help them.
It's extremely hot outside. I like to eat fruit, especially when I come here. They always have nutritious meal. You know, especially when it's hot outside, they always have something like to cool us down. This place itself it cools us down.
801 Men's Shelter is another cooling center identified by the City of Washington. The daily capacity reaches up to 380 clients, as the director refers to the homeless men. When temperatures reach 95 degrees, the city calls for a heat alert and requires all designated cooling centers to remain open indefinitely.
For most part, we don't wait for the alert, because sometimes the heat conditions out there may not necessarily necessitate the need for an alert, but then you can tell that it is really hot out here, so we can let the clients that are in the building, at least around the premises of the building, to come to the building, and we do that all the time. And then we have to provide cool water, we have to provide food, and we have to work with other partners out there to come into the shelter and provide those support systems that they will require whilst they are in the building. Shelters that are run by Catholic charities, and primarily those that I oversee, what I have impressed on the minds of my managers and the program staff is to always err on the part of humanity.